Afternoon, everyone. It's a few minutes before 1, and I just wanted to give you an update on a position we are already in, but is really looks like it's about to come to fruition. This is ICE, that's the Intercontinental Exchange, and uh, they are represented in all segments of the market. They own the NYSE, they trade futures, they trade options. So, in Las Vegas terms, this is the house. And the house always ends up on the upside. Okay, so I want to point out something very simple. First of all, we have this nice little channel, which I would call a flag. And after tight ranges here and all through these consolidations, the ranges have gone from basically a $2 a day range the last couple of days. We have a $3.50 range. We have a $4 range. Um, and this day we had a $3.50 range. So we're getting a little rangier. We're at support, I think, which was the last consolidation before the breakout to the high here at 140 or so, 139.79. But what I really want to point out is the fact that using this MACD, which has worked just beautifully, there have been a bunch of crossovers and they've been very accurate, depending upon how far they have come. And what I'm going to point out is that on the downside, when we have had this kind of action and a cross to the upside, we've had some pretty substantial runs in this. After testing the low, we went from essentially 110 up to, well, on the initial run, we went from 110 to 120 in about 15 trading days, so 3 weeks. Where we are right now, after this major run up and top, we got a cross right at the top. So from about 138, we came all the way down to a low of 128. So a $10 move. Took a little longer, had a couple of little counter trend rallies here. This is a little bear flag, higher highs, higher lows, and when it broke down, it accelerated. What we have now, it looks like, is the MACD as oversold as it was back in May, and it looks to me like we're going to cross back to the upside. The downside pressure is getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And as you can see, as soon as it goes from less negative to positive, we usually get a pretty nice run. This one goes from 117 to 129 in basically 4 days. So I think that we're getting that cross. It looks like we're going to come out of the flag. And as I showed in the Discord room, we have um, some pretty tight Bollinger Bands, but the fact is you have to remember that the Bollinger Bands expand with the price action. So let me just show you what that looks like. Here, the Bollinger Bands were reasonably tight. As soon as we started going up, they expanded from the range here of about $14, in basically a week and a half. All of a sudden, we were 131 to 110, we were $21. So the Bollinger Bands expanded 50%, and they continue to expand. So while we're in a relatively small Bollinger Band right now, we are at the bottom. 128.60 at the top, 137. Those could turn and expand to the upside and the downside here at the same time on more volatility. But it looks to me like we're going to, at the very least, test the 136 and a half, 137. And if this thing gets going, it's true, we'll probably have to roll to the January options. We own the December 135s. Some people as low as 90, some people as high as $1. The last is $1.10 bid offered at $1.30, and the last is 123. So I think this trade is in pretty good shape, and I think it's only going to get better. So there you have it, and I'll post this everywhere.